going on, everyone? Lullet here. Today we're going to be ranking American Express credit cards in a tier list fashion. So how that's going to work, I'm going to flip the screen and this is how it's going to look like. At the top you got S for the top echelon of credit cards by American Express, followed by A, B, C, and finally D, pretty much the worst of the selection we have today that we're going to go over. And the structure for this video is going to be essentially, we're going to be looking at what card are we talking about, kind of a high-level overview just in case you don't know the card, or kind of a refresher, and then we go on to where it's going to be in our tier list ranking. So like this, you're going to learn more about all American Express card products, and at the same time what I think about them, and some high-level remarks / commentary in general. And with that, we'll get straight into it. The first set of cards we'll start off with are the Hilton suite of cards. From left to right, you got the Hilton Honors card with no annual fee. You have the Hilton Surpass at $95 annual fee. An annual fee of $450 is going to be the Hilton Aspire card. In terms of a sign-up bonus, you're looking at 130,000 points, and that's 80K on the first 1,000 of spend, and you get the other additional 50K points over here after spending 5K in purchases in the first 6 months, with the first 1,000 to be spent in the first 3 months. And similarly, you got the $95 annual fee, the Surpass card, over here of getting 130K points with 2,000 in spend, and 180K total within the first 6 months if you spend a total of 10K in those same 6 months, with an additional 50K points is what you'll get. And over here you get 150K points after spending 4K in the first 3 months. No 6-month language, etc. for getting more points in that time frame. And you have your APR, what you earn is going to be your Hilton Honors points. And in terms of earning category, you're looking at 7X with the no annual fee version, 12X with the $95 annual fee version, and 14X with the Aspire. And you have some extra earning categories down below. And when we come to the benefits over here at a glance, what we notice is actually you get certain status with these type of cards. So you're getting silver status with the no annual fee version of the Hilton Honors card, then gold status with the Surpass, and diamond status with the Aspire. In terms of priority pass, you get 10 free visits with the $95 annual fee version, and over here with $450, you actually get the generic priority pass that you get with the American Express Platinum / the Chase Sapphire Reserve and other cards like the Venture X by Capital One. And you get diamond status with the Aspire card, and you don't need to stay any nights, just having the card you get diamond status. I would say the Hilton Honors card, it's a good card. Is it going to be S tier? I don't think so. It has no annual fee, so it's pretty good. You get silver status, but at the highest level compared to other cards you can earn with, unless you're really spending at Hilton, I think it's going to be a B because it has no annual fee. It's a keeper card, sock drawer card, keeps your credit history / score intact, but overall there's nothing too special about this card. Give it a B because you don't have those flexible points you're really earning. It's Hilton Honors, so if you're really in the Hilton ecosystem, then you might as well get a larger annual fee version because maybe you're getting more benefit. So with the Surpass, yeah, pretty similar. I would say it's good in terms of earning structure. It may not be the best. It's kind of your mid-tier, or if you don't want priority pass through a top-tier luxury card, maybe, yeah, I would say it's a B. In the Aspire, though, because of the weekend night and otherwise, again, S tier because of the points it's earning. I wouldn't say it's really S tier, but I can definitely say it's A, just given the fact that even though it has a $450 annual fee, you're getting a weekend night, and in addition you have other perks and benefits which truly can be very valuable. For example, diamond status, and a weekend night versus a weekday night in terms of value, definitely there's a difference depending on where you're going and otherwise, so give the Aspire A status. With our same topic of hotels, coming to our next card, we got the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card by American Express. Also, just like the Aspire, you have an annual fee of $450. And actually, let's go to a little more detailed view to get some extra information. So here, you have 6X on hotels, and there'll be Marriott Bonvoy points. You have 3X on dining and 3X on flights. And you also get $300 Marriott Bonvoy statement credit. So of that $450, you have $300 back to be used as a statement credit. And in terms of extra rewards, you actually do get a free night award. And so this night, when you do the math effectively, you're basically spending $150 if you don't spend on this card too much, but you can still get that value back. And definitely depending on where you redeem, up to 50K over here. So at or under 50K Marriott Bonvoy points, depending on how you value them, how you use it, definitely it can be outsized value, essentially greater than at $150. And you also get a $100 Marriott Bonvoy property credit with your card if you book. and specifically some more details over here. You get 15 elite nights. So this is essentially saying getting you that much closer to status, and you should be getting silver status with these 15 elite night credits, and you can get further status, aka expedited or otherwise, with having this card. You have priority pass as well. You get that fee credit for global entry or TSA pre-check, no foreign transaction fees and otherwise. And right before we place it, let's look at that sign-up bonus. You get 75k Marriott Bonvoy points at the time of this recording. I know this sign-up bonus definitely changes depending on when you're applying, and up to $200 back at US restaurants. And this is going to be in the form of statement credit for eligible purchases made within the first 6 months of card ownership. Is it a D status kind of card? C status? B? A? S? I'm going to give it an S. And just for the same reasons I mentioned, you're getting that free night at $150 in terms of effective value when you take the $450 annual fee minus the $300 credit. And again, you do get Marriott points in general with spending on the card outside of just Marriott hotels. And I do understand that if you transfer your membership reward points with American Express to Marriott to redeem for those nights, there could be better usage of those points. So if you're definitely doing Marriott spend and regard Marriott points being useful, I would say that this card, having it in your arsenal, is definitely going to be amazing. So S tier, first card on this list of all of our cards to go. So yeah, I'm pretty shocked even at such a high value, but when you look at everything and anything, it makes perfect sense, at least to me, because it pays for itself. So with that, let's keep going. Moving on from hotels, we've got our airline cards. So coming to Delta. Over here, we got the Delta SkyMiles Blue American Express card. So this one has no annual fee, and you actually have a sign-up bonus of after spending $500 in the first 3 months, you get 10,000 bonus miles, and they're going to be Delta SkyMiles. And looking at some high-level information, you get 2x at restaurants, 2x on Delta purchases, no foreign transaction fees. You can pay with your miles, and 20% back on in-flight purchases. So with this card, basically in terms of where I would place it, I would say coming back over here to our actual tier maker, I would put the blue. It's not going to be S. I wouldn't give it an A. A B, it's similar to the Hilton card where it actually earns Delta SkyMiles and it has no annual fee, and I understand that. And it also has a sign-up bonus, so not too bad. But other than the 20% in-flight purchases for Delta specifically with this card, which has no annual fee, I mean, sure, I can give it maybe a C, but I'm actually going to give it a D. And the reason is primarily because this card on its own, just applying for it, 10,000 Sky Miles, depending how you value Delta miles, may not be really worth it. At 1.2 cents per point, we're talking 120 bucks. So if you do the math, yeah, it's 24% return on spend in one way, but because you're stuck with Delta, and also how much can you really afford with 10,000 Sky Miles as a sign-up bonus, is it really going to be one whole flight or not? It could maybe get you a one-way, definitely, depending on certain prices and where you're trying to go. But in general, in terms of the utility of this card, you'll probably have to spend more on it, and at 2x, you're not going to be earning that much in terms of value, in my honest opinion. So with that, I give it a D. And moving forward to our other 3 Delta cards, you got the Gold, the Platinum, and the Reserve. So in terms of sign-up bonus, you got 40k bonus miles after $1,000 in spend, and you get up to 50 bucks back in statement credits for US restaurants specifically in the first 3 months. And with the Platinum, you're actually going to get 50k in terms of sign-up bonus and 5k medallion qualifying miles, MQMs. And the opposite of MQMs, not really the opposite, but another qualifying feature is going to be MQDs, which are medallion qualifying dollars. And these type of dollars or miles, it's part of the Delta program to offer you status depending on how many miles you've flown / dollars you've spent in general. And over here with the Reserve, you have 50k in terms of bonus miles for a sign-up bonus and 10,000 MQMs, so medallion qualifying miles. And this is after $3,000 in spend and up to 100 bucks in statement credits for US restaurants, similar to the Gold, in the first 3 months. And so for both the Platinum and the Reserve, you have $100 in terms of eligible statement credits, and the Gold has 50. And then we go into the earning structure. You have 2x at restaurants, 2x at supermarkets, 2x on purchases made directly with Delta with the Gold card, and $1 or 1 mile everywhere else. And similarly with the next, the Platinum and the Reserve, the Platinum's more of an everyday card where you're getting 3x on purchases made directly with hotels, as well as Delta flights and vacations, 2x on restaurants, 2x on supermarkets, 1x everywhere else. And with the Reserve, you're getting 3x on Delta spend, but nowhere else. And that all comes with an annual fee over here specifically of $550. And so with that being the case, but coming to the benefits, with the gold card, I do know you get a free checked-in bag for you and 4 other companions. So depending on how you value that, if you have a family of 4 or in general, you're looking at huge savings in the long term of having this card, where the annual fee, it doesn't really matter as much as how much value you're getting when you do the math. And with the platinum, you actually get an annual companion certificate. So this is going to have some stipulation, for example, main cabin, domestic only. And if you pay with one flight in cash, you actually get the companion certificate for that person to travel with you. But on the other hand, with the reserve, you get not just main cabin, but you get first class. But again, you'll have to pay in cash for that first ticket, and then you get that second ticket for free. So just a heads up there. But with that, if we actually try to rank these based on the value we're getting versus their annual fees and just the value and everything in general, when we go back over here, the gold, I would say, frankly speaking, I would give it a B. And the reason for that is because it has an annual fee. It definitely can have outsized value, but it just depends how you're using it. And as an everyday spending card, I wouldn't really recommend it. And it's a great card if you're flying Delta all the time, but what if you're not? It's kind of like the Hilton situation where, although this Hilton card has no annual fee and this one does, this Delta SkyMiles Gold card, the sign-up bonus too, very much varies heavily. So when you really are ready to apply for it, if you're not getting an 80K or 100K bonus for the Delta SkyMiles Gold, and let's just say you go for that 40 or 50K offer, it's really not even worth it that much more. So with that volatility of sign-up bonus and otherwise, I would give it a B, where it's decent, but it's not great if you're not being able to use it. And the reserve, I would give it the same thing, where you're getting that first class kind of flight, and that's impressive and great in one way, but at the same time, for $550, if you're not getting use of Delta and its benefits / otherwise, and especially more importantly, the fact that it's only 3x on Delta spend and nowhere else are you getting that 2x type of multiplier like you do with the Platinum, then that's an issue of itself. But on that note, I would give the Platinum actually an A, just because you can actually use it more in a versatile manner. And although there's an annual fee of $250, if you look at what prices are for main cabin in terms of domestic travel in America, I would say definitely there's ways to get value. And more importantly, just like the Delta SkyMiles Gold, you're getting that baggage benefit. So with that, I'd give the SkyMiles Platinum an A. Moving on from hotels and points, we got the cashback category. So first, we got the Cash Magnet card by American Express. So you have no annual fee, and you have an intro APR and intro buy now, pay later. So really, it's not 0% APR necessarily for this BNPL type of feature, but at the same time, you have a cashback, or rather statement credit bonus of $200 back if you spend $2K in the first 6 months. With this card, you get 1.5% cash back on all purchases. Again, cash back, not points. And as we scroll down, we can actually see that there's intro APR of 0% for the first 15 months on purchases, but you also have that capability to do $0 buy now, pay later in terms of fees for those same first 15 months. So it's worth taking a look if that's something in your plan or strategy in terms of how you're trying to spend without going into debt, but also planning in such a way per your budget or otherwise to take advantage of what the Cash Magnet card has for you. Placing it wise, I would say it's not really a D. There's no annual fee. Wouldn't say it's bad where it would be a C. Where my B is really saying, hey, there's no annual fee and it's okay. You can kind of keep it for the long term. It doesn't really hurt you whether to keep it or cancel it. So I would give it a B, and you still get Amex offers with American Express cards. So I would still give it a B rather than a C or a D. Next up, we're still talking about cashback cards, but there's one that's going to earn points, and I just want to point out kind of the fact of this card's existence. So there's the Blue by American Express. There's no annual fee, and as it says, earn membership reward points with no annual fee. So this is going to be similar to a different type of card with no annual fee as well on the personal side of American Express, where you can earn points. But there's a business version of the Blue known as the Blue Business Plus card, where instead of 1x you get 2x, but not the focus of this video. So point being that this card exists and you can actually get it if you wish to, and you're going to earn 1x for every dollar spent. And want it included in next to the Blue Cash Everyday and the Blue Cash Preferred, just to avoid any type of confusion, because coming over to the Blue Cash Everyday and the Blue Cash Preferred, they're more kind of together in terms of products, where one of them has no annual fee and the Blue Cash Preferred has 0 in the first year, but then it goes up to $95. And in terms of what you're actually looking at in terms of sign-up bonus, with the Blue Cash every day, you're going to get $200 back after 2K in spend in the first 6 months. So again, it's going to be 10% ROI, or rather ROS, return on spend, where you're going to get that in the form of a statement credit, specifically speaking. And over here with the Blue Cash Preferred, it's going to be similar, but instead of $200, you're getting $300 back after 3K of spend in the first 6 months. So again, that same 10% kind of multiple. And you have low intro APR and reduced plan fees if you choose that benefit, similar to the Cash Magnet, for both the Blue Cash Everyday and the Blue Cash Preferred. And as we scroll down, you do get membership reward points with the Blue from American Express and cash back on the other two products, same as the Cash Magnet. You get 1x over here with the Blue, and for the Blue Cash Everyday, the BCE and the BCP with the Blue Cash Preferred, you get 3x in terms of US supermarkets, up to 6K in spend, and after that it's 1%. And with the Preferred, it's 6x on up to 6K in spend as well with supermarkets. And you get 2% on gas stations, 2% on department stores, and 1% everywhere else with the BCE. And with the BCP, you're going to get 6x on select US streaming subscriptions. So depending on how much you're spending on streaming services, it may or may not be worth it. Definitely balance it with that annual fee and do the math. 3% back on transit purchases, 3% back on US gas stations, and 1% everywhere else. So depending on your spend, it's worth to do a little math just to see what makes sense here. But at a supremely high level, if you're looking at these cards, the BC and the BCP, for spending on supermarkets, specifically speaking, there's a 3% differential here. So with 3% being the difference and seeing your $95 annual fee, if you do the math, you know, a $95 divided by 3% in terms of difference is going to be roughly $3,300 in additional spend you need to break even for that annual fee. So depending on that, it's definitely worth looking into, because if you're spending up to 6K and getting this, let's say you're not spending 6K even close to it, it may not be worth paying this $95 annual fee. But depending on how you kind of view the benefits and the earning structure, it's definitely worth paying that $95 annual fee. It just comes down to math. Just to get the Blue out of the way, Blue from American Express, I'm going to give it a B, and the reason is because you are going to be earning membership reward points, so it's a point earning card. You can use those points for more than just cash back, and there's no annual fee, so that's pretty cool. And you can actually pool all your American Express points together, your membership reward points. So by having the Blue, and depending on what other cards you have in the ecosystem, could definitely be useful. And the Blue as well, because there's no annual fee, it definitely helps having it around in terms of at least a stock drawer card. And from there, you got the Blue Cash Everyday. Now, due to the diversity, it has no annual fee, but due to the diversity of earning structure and what you can earn, I would give it an A, just because it has more than just earning 1x everywhere else, but you have some bonus category potential in terms of spending. And yes, it's only a cashback earning card instead of, let's say, points, but I would say that it's still a good overall holistic card. But with the BCP, for example, I would give it a B, just because it has some annual fee that you need to consider kind of recouping what type of advantages you're getting or not, and considering if you're going to keep it in the long term. And yeah, it has $0 in the first year, but in terms of the long-term kind of impact and otherwise, it's not just your first year value you want to consider. You definitely want to look kind of, well, how does it look like 1 year out, 2 years out, etc. So I'll keep it a B, kind of neutral. But the Blue Cash Everyday, I can definitely see it being an A, just depending on your spend. But again, you're earning cash back versus being stuck in those miles of Hilton or Delta or otherwise. So A it is. So next up, we got the Amex Everyday as well as the Everyday Preferred. So over here with the no annual fee version of the Amex Everyday, you have 10K points after you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months. So depending on how you value these points, if you're looking at just cash back, it's going to be even less than 10%. aka 0.6 cents per point in terms of your statement credit. You're looking at $60 back if you actually redeem all those 10,000 points as a statement credit. But if you transfer them to airlines and let's say you're getting 2 cents per point, then you're looking at more close to $200, which is closer to 20% return on spend. So you also get 0% intro APR for the first 15 months with the everyday. And in terms of earning structure, you're looking at 2x on supermarkets, up to 6K in spend, 1x everywhere else. And if you use your card 20 times or more in a month, you actually get 20% extra points. So effectively making that 2 times points, 2.4 points per dollar spent, up to 6K per year, and 1.2x points on everywhere else. And with the Everyday Preferred at a $95 annual fee, you're looking at 15K membership reward points after the same minimum spend requirement of $1,000. But the APR of 0%, it's limited to 12 months versus 15 months with the Everyday no annual fee version, so just a heads up there. And you get 3x up to 6K in spend instead of 2x, 2x at gas stations instead of over here, no multiple with the everyday card, and you get 1x everywhere else. And here you're getting 50% extra points after 30 times or more of using this card. So this card is definitely going to be one of those cards you want to use every day, as its name implies. And if you do, you're looking at 4.5 times points with $95 in terms of annual fee at US supermarkets, up to 6K per year. And 2 times 0.5 is actually 3x at US gas stations. Again, you want to make sure the math of paying that $95 annual fee makes sense, and 1x everywhere else. So with that, I would say the Amex Everyday card over here, yeah, it has no annual fee, but it also has a not bad of a sign-up bonus given the fact that it's reward points, which you can use flexibly. I would give it an A, especially because it has some extra multiplier instead of just 1x everywhere, especially if you use the card. And with all of these cards, you have Amex offers. So definitely it's a long-term keeper card and it still earns Amex points. And I think that's pretty great. The preferred, would it be an A? I would say no. I would keep it as a B, just given the fact that there's an annual fee and there's math to kind of see if it makes sense or not. So I wouldn't give it an A, but I definitely give it a B. But the Amex Everyday card, it's a crazy card in some ways if you value membership reward points, which I definitely do. So with that, we're left with the green, the gold, and the platinum. So let's get into it. All right, with the green, you have a $150 annual fee. With the gold, you got a $250 annual fee. And with the platinum, you have $695 in terms of your annual fee. In terms of the actual sign-up bonus itself, you're looking at 45K points, 60K points, 100K points respectively. With the green, you're going to get that 45K after 2K in spend. With the gold, you're going to get 60K points after 4K in spend. And with the platinum, you're going to get 100K points after 6K in spend. And all of these spending requirements are in the first 6 months of membership. And with the platinum specifically, in terms of your earning structure, more than what these cards individually have, you also get 10x points on eligible purchases on your new card at restaurants worldwide and when you use Shop Small in the US. Shop Small in the US is for smaller owners, for example, in terms of business. And so when you're shopping small, you're going to get extra points, and you can actually figure out more on the app itself or the website for which qualify as Shop Small in the US. And those 10x points are going to be up to 25K in spend, again in the first 6 months. And the way they label it is essentially that's an additional 9 points on top of the $1, or rather 1 point you get on all purchases, just to clear the confusion of getting 10x bonus points. It's 10x total. And you have APR information, feel free to pause. And what you're going to earn is membership reward points on all of these type of cards. And the levels of earning is basically in a structure, kind of looks like 3, 4, 5, but looking at it a bit deeper, you're going to get on the green card 3x on restaurants, including takeout and delivery, 3x on transit and from ride shares and subway swipes to tolls and ferry rides. And so ride share is going to be your Uber, Lyft, 3x on travel, including airfare, hotels, cruises, tours, car rentals, and more, 1x everywhere else. And how this compares green versus gold over here is essentially going to be where you get 3x, you get this takeout or delivery in the US, but the gold card's USP, unique selling point, depending how you value it, it's going to be more than just in America. It's going to be worldwide essentially. And in addition, you get 4x points up to 25K in spend for US supermarkets and 3x on flights booked directly with the airline or on AmexTravel.com. And with the platinum, you get 5x on that same booking for Amex American Express travel on up to 5K on purchases per calendar year. So 500K in spend, to some it may be, oh, I'm never going to spend 500K. And to some, they really do get that upper limit kind of reached. And so after 5X in spend, you're looking at 1X everywhere else. And you're also going to get 5X points on prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com and 1X everywhere else. Now, you get a lot of credits with the platinum, you have some credits with the green, you have some as well with the gold. And so not getting too nitty gritty over here, you also have some status with the platinum, and all of this is a part of the benefits, kind of their non-tangible benefits. When we don't talk about cash, it's kind of like what is the value rather with having Delta Sky Club access or having gold status at Hilton or Marriott, etc. So it's definitely for one to decide. But with that, when we actually go to our tier, and right before we place them, here's some more information to make my decision more clear. So with a $150 annual fee, you actually have some credits. So $100 credit to help you breeze through security. So if you want to breeze through and you value this at $100 or even $50, definitely comes into the math of associating whether that $150 annual fee is worth it for you in terms of the bonus structure of 3x for the most part with the American Express Green as well as the credits. You get a $100 credit for lounge access, which through Lounge Buddy you can basically reserve which type of lounge you're trying to stay at or otherwise. So you don't have priority pass with the green card, but you have the capability to stay at some type of lounges which may intersect with the priority pass network and otherwise. And you have some type of insurances, no foreign transaction fees and otherwise. But definitely what I wanted to point out is the fact that you get this 3x in terms of earning, but also those credits. And then going to the gold card, what it looks like when we scroll down is essentially that you can get 4x on dining, groceries, and flights as we covered, 3x on flights, but you also get some credits. So coming over here, you get $120 in Uber cash. And this is $10 a month. With the last month of December, you still get $10, but when we get to the platinum part, that's distributed a little differently. So $120 dining credit, and so this is when you dine at Grubhub, Seamless, The Cheesecake Factory, Roots Chris, Steakhouse, Box.com, participating Shake Shack location, so it just depends how you value this credit, and 1x everywhere else. So from a $250 annual fee, you do get $240 in credits. Again, it has to be useful for you, and you're getting 4x on these categories. So pretty stellar card in my honest opinion, and you can choose the Rose Gold limited edition when it first came out or not. So just a little detail there. In the Amex Platinum, I have a dedicated video to this. There's a ton of new credits with the $695 revamped annual fee kind of version. So with that being said, with $695, it really comes down to one owning kind of the credits behind it and really understanding, is it going to be worth it? And I'm kind of, the way I'm expressing this is kind of like, hey, you know, it may not be the best card out there, but it has to fit your lifestyle or kind of make sense in your everyday spending and kind of what you're involved with in terms of lifestyle and otherwise. There are some awesome Amex offers with the Platinum card, which you cannot get on the Gold or the Green or other membership reward earning cards or even the cashback versions. So definitely something to consider. But like that, let's see where we fall in our tier list. All right, the Green card, I can't give it an S. I wouldn't give it an A. It has an annual fee, and I could give it a B, but when I see this card, I also understand that there's a vertical of how you have platinum, gold, and green, and from the green, you're not able to downgrade to a no annual fee version of an American Express flagship card. And so for that reason, I'm gonna have to give it a C, because even if I don't want this card, I don't want to spend on it, I can't downgrade this card, and I'm stuck in a $95 annual fee. But because of its credits and earning structure, maybe it's not worth putting in the D category, but it's going to have to stay at C, just given the nature of its capability in the long term. But with that, the Platinum card, the credits, I know if you don't use it, you can easily give it a D. Could it be a C? Yes, but depending on your lifestyle and otherwise, for me personally, I could give it a B, but surprisingly, I'm going to give it an A, and that's because maybe it's very specific to me, but I fly Delta a lot, and Delta Sky Club access is definitely something I value, and that's something given to me by the Platinum card, which is hard to get otherwise by just having the card. And in general, in terms of what it earns, its other benefits and offers, I make value of it, I can justify it, so do check out that video for details at the end of how I kind of justify that annual fee, even without spending too much on the card. And finally, American Express, the gold card. It's not a D, it's not a C, it's actually one of my favorite cards. So with that, from a B to an A, I'm gonna have to give it an S tier over there to just 4x. You get your credits. It's a great earning card. If you value membership reward points at 2 cents per point, you're looking at 8% back on spend at minimum for every time you dine at restaurants or supermarkets. And you have a 25K spending limit instead of a 6K with the everyday and everyday preferred. But with that, this is kind of my tier list and my thoughts, and please feel free to comment down below, make a response video if you have some other thoughts on all these American Express personal credit cards. But with that, I've been talking a lot here, so you know how it is. Thanks for listening. Hope you agree or disagree, you know how it is, but I'll see you soon enough. See y'all.